Well, hello fellow Martians and welcome back to the channel. And in today's podcast episode, we're going to talk about Preptober, Preptember, and Promptober. Also, welcome back to the Words of the Leaf podcast. This is our 4th episode, and the reason why I did this episode this week, I was supposed to do this next week, but I figured that a vlog would be better to end October. Okay, so I won't also be editing that much with my audio in this podcast. I want it to be as raw as possible so you guys will be able to hear me stutter and say wrong sentences, and I hope you guys forgive me for that. Okay, so week 3 has ended. I am now to give my update on my Promptober progress. I will not be including my Saturday update, which is tomorrow. So because I moved my working schedules from Mondays to Fridays now, so weekends are now again my day offs. Okay, so let us start with Promptober week 3. For day 11, the prompt is Keep Me Singing by Van Morrison, and I wrote 256 words for that. For day 12, the prompt was Fanny Hill. I forgot who the singer is, but here's the thing, I didn't write anything during day 12, and here's why. I searched for the song on Google, on YouTube, and any place on the internet where you can look for lyrics or just an audio of the song. And to my dismay, the song only exists on the Wikipedia discography page of the artist. So there's nothing on YouTube and on anywhere on Google. So I was really frustrated, so I didn't write anything. But that's okay because I took that as a day to rest, because during that time I was so unenthusiastic to continue Promptober. So I guess that day was a blessing. Maybe the Lord has seen that midway during this challenge I just want to give up now, but thankfully I got that break. For day 13, it's Johnny Be Good, and it's the version of Elvis Presley. I wrote 219 words. For day 14, it's Love, Peace, and Joy by second chapter of Acts, and I wrote 273. For day 15, it was Big Boss Man by Elvis Presley again, and I wrote 252 words. And for day 16, it was Dream Baby by Glenn Campbell. I wrote 287 words. Now, you may have noticed that there are 2 Elvis Presley songs during week 3, and I would like to assure everybody that these songs were chosen in random. I took the whole month to choose my prompts for this month. But yeah. So our next topic will be my update on writing for this week. From Sunday up to today, it's Friday, I wrote 11,229 words. That's combining everything. I wrote for Promptober, I wrote for TIOH, I wrote for TSOH. So that's everything. There were days where I didn't write as much because I feel like I'm getting tired now, so I'm just taking it slowly. Was it Sunday or Monday? I believe it was Monday. I didn't write anything. I focused on reading and catching up with my AuthorTube hours. So TSOH is in good progress. I wasn't even supposed to touch TSOH before NaNoWriMo, but we're here because I need to write something else other than TIOH, so the sequel is the best option. I'm also nearing the end of my TIOH rewrite, so I'm very excited because my good friend Amy Lee is now going to be a beta reader for me, and she's going to beta read during November, that's lucky because it's hard to get beta readers during Camp Nano and NaNoWriMo season. And she was very supportive, and she said she's willing to beta read. So Amy Lee, if you're listening to this, Yeah, you have my permission to destroy my story. Just give me all the feedback that you see, because I need it. I need to know what works and what doesn't. Okay, so other achievements. Oh no, sorry, I was skipping to that. For my reading update, I did a reading stream on my Patreon this Monday, and I will explain in a bit why I did that. I read 49 pages of The Iron Daughter. I started from the very beginning again. Yes, it's I keep doing that because I don't want to miss anything, but I already made notes for the future book review for The Iron Daughter. And now let us go to the other achievements. Okay, so the reason why I did a reading stream on my Patreon is because I reached 3 patrons, and I told myself if I reach the numbers 3, 5, or 7, whichever comes first. But I know 3 will be the first one. The perks will be, I'll it will take effect. So my patrons are applicable to be my beta readers. I will be sending them an email. So guys, if you're listening to this, you might receive an email from me this weekend. Another achievement, I reached 300 reads on GOODNOVEL. That's an achievement. Every 100 reads is a big thing for me, because I know that there are people who are interested in the story, and that my story isn't that boring, I guess. But thank you so much to the people who are reading the story, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. Now let us proceed into today's topic, which is all about Preptober, Preptember, Promptober, all of that. What's the difference and what is it? Okay, so what are these? First is Preptober. Preptober is the month, which is October. October is the month where all writers prepare before NaNoWriMo, and NaNoWriMo happens in November. So all the prep happens during October. Preptember is something that I did because I discovered something else that I can do during October. So during Preptember, I prepare for what I'm going to do at October and November. Now, what is Promptober? Promptober, again, is something that I did to myself. I thought, why not write different prompts for each day of the month of October? When I first thought of that, I was like, are you crazy? You're going to join NaNoWriMo. You're going to exhaust your mind. But I thought it's a challenge just to keep my brain awake, because for me, I need that. Because for me, if my brain stops thinking about new stuff, it's not going to work properly. So, yeah. Yeah, so the next question is, why Preptember, not Preptober? Here's the thing. I tried Preptober. However, during that time, I didn't prepare because I came across prompts. And I'm like, well, this is a good idea. I tried writing a prompt in between my current work in progress. And it helped me. It helped me refresh my brain. So I thought, this could be a good thing. So I thought, well, September, I don't do anything much during September. So during the month of September, I prepared for October, my Promptober challenge. I prepared for that. And I also prepared something for Nano. Mostly I prepared for Promptober because as a pantser, I don't need to literally outline. I gave my preparations for NaNoWriMo at least a week, to brainstorm and to list all the scenes that I already know that will happen. And that's all the prep that I need for my stories. I don't need a whole month. So during September, that's when I prepare everything, for Promptober and Nano. And then during October, I do my Promptober. The plan is to just do Promptober, not anything else, just to write prompts. So it's like you only write prompts for a day. It's like to relax yourself. This is what you're only going to do. But I'm going to talk about that in a while, why it was not a good idea right now. But I'm going to explain it in a while. So why Promptober? Like I said, it's for me to just relax and not think about my works in progress for 1 month before Nano. I just want to write something else other than my current works in progress. that was the whole idea behind Promptober, honestly, is because you're going to write a whole story during Nano. And for me, to prepare a month before Nano, that's going to exhaust me. So I prepared during September. Promptober, the plan behind it is for a day, you're only going to write something for the prompt. It could be just one page, or you're just going to write for 15 minutes. And after that, you're done. You do what you want for the rest of the day. Because it doesn't pressure you to write that much, but at the same time, your brain is still working, you're still thinking of new ideas, and those prompts, the outcomes of those prompts can be future story ideas in the future, can be future story ideas as well. That was my thinking process. But I did Promptober wrong. This is the second time I did Promptober, and I still did it wrong. So I'm gonna explain it to you later. So activities during Preptober. Sorry, Preptember rather. I give a week for my NaNoWriMo prep, and then the rest it will be for October. I am also preparing myself physically, mentally, emotionally. I also inform my husband on my schedule. I tell him this is the month of September. It's time for me to prep. I would tell him, okay, during October I have this, and during November I have this. And he's very, very supportive of what I am doing. And whenever I tell him, hey, it's October, you know what I'm going to do, so I have to write something down, give me a few minutes, and he will let me. And whenever November comes around, I would tell him, hey, it's NaNoWriMo, you know the drill. And he's like, yeah, you can do it. You prepped for this, right? That's his question. You prepped for this, right? And I'm like, yeah, I think that's called prep. I believe in my world, because as a pantser, there's not really an outline for me to follow. I really just list down scenes that I know, and that's it. So what are the pros for doing Preptember and not Preptober? For me, it gave me a longer time to prep, because I'm going to be honest, I did my preparations for Nano during September, but then when October comes around, I still for some reason I still come up with things to prepare for NaNoWriMo, and that's a big thing for me. I have a longer time for preparations, not just for my Promptober, but also for Nano, because sometimes I list down the scenes, and then during October I will read, for some reason I will read the list that I did, and then suddenly my brain's like, wait, we should insert this here, put it there, put a note in it. And then I would ask for, more paper and more ink, because I handwrite, and then sometimes I use my typewriter, so my typewriter will always need to be updated with ink. So yeah, but paper and notebook, those are the big ones. Next pro, the next pro is about Promptober, and I mentioned this a while ago. It keeps my mind fresh for new ideas. I'm telling you, Promptober right now is becoming like a chore for me. However, whenever I brainstorm, whenever I read what I've written, I'm amazed, because I'm thinking like, well, because I only write one page for a notebook, and that's it for the day. But whenever I reread it, whenever I revisit it, I immediately think of what's going to happen next. And me as an overwriter, I know it's not just going to be a short story. I have the confidence that it will not be a short story, but who knows, perhaps it will be. But I know what's going to happen next, and I get all excited about, continuing this in the future, like in the middle of my works in progress and stuff like that. So that's a good thing. So the cons, I can't think of any cons, but this is the one con that is really a biggie, and that's a possible burnout. So you do all your prep during Preptember, great, but you're going to do Promptober and NaNoWriMo See? See? You can get easily burnt out if you don't handle the situation properly. And it happened to me last year. Oh boy. I burnt myself out last year, and that wasn't a good sight because I was supposed to be prepared and ready for Nano, but because I did Promptober wrong last year, I didn't win my NaNoWriMo. My first time to join NaNoWriMo was last year, and I didn't win because of what I did. And it was my wrong. It was a misstep for me. I shouldn't have taken, you know, better precautions and better preparations. Okay, so the next question is, do I recommend this, and what are my tips? For me, yes. I would recommend this, like having Preptember, then Promptober, and then Nano. I recommend this, but make sure that October is only for your prompts. Take my advice. Don't do Promptober if you're doing rewrites for your current work and for your current book. Don't do it. I'm doing it right now. I did it also last year. Last year was the worst. This year, this month, it was a bit better. But please, for the love of everything, don't do it while you're revising or editing your main book, because it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. October should be reserved just for the prompts, so you can have the rest of the day off. That's it. That's supposed to be the point. And right now I couldn't do that because I'm so behind my my deadline with TIOH. So I really had to manage my time properly. So that's my advice. Also, you don't have to write a lot during Promptober. Don't. It's better to keep the prompt short. Like, you can set it like you can just one write page for the prompt and that's it, or you can just print for 10-15 minutes. That's it. You don't have to set like 7,000 word count goals for one prompt. No, just make it short and simple. Just, you know, you can just so you can keep, you know, writing. At least your brain isn't stagnant or something like that. So those are my tips. Don't do it while you're editing or revising, and you don't need to write a lot. Just, you know, spend a few minutes or do one page of a notebook, and then you're good for the day. But that is all for me today, folks. Thank you so much for listening, and if you enjoyed this podcast, do give it a thumbs up and let your thoughts be heard in the comment section below. Next year, will you be trying it out? Will you be doing Preptember, Promptober, and then Nano? Or you're gonna mix it up? Let me know. My good friend Miss Barbara Howard is going to release a new book. It is Charlotte's Revenge. I will link the book in the description below. You should check it out. A big shout out to my patrons, Eva, Lauren, and Sid. Thank you so much. On Monday or Friday, I believe, or it's either Monday or Friday, I'm going to do another reading stream with my patrons. So if you're interested in having a reading stream with me, you can check that out. I host streams during Wednesdays, 10 a.m. my time and 10 p.m. my time. And then I post creative stuff during Mondays and then writing stuff during Fridays. Previously it was Saturdays, but now it's on Fridays because, like I said, I moved everything. That's something you have to do when you're a mom. You have to be very, very flexible with your time. Again, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you guys on the next one. Stay safe, stay creative, and happy writing, my Marcians.